Welcome, friends, to Golf is a Four-Letter Word. Approaching the tee box now, your host, Craig Dufton.
Good morning and welcome, everybody, to Golf is a Four-Letter Word. And I'm welcoming back the lovely and talented J9.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, my dear husband.
My dear husband. Wow, this is great. So it's just the two of us today, but we did golf quite a bit this week. And we golfed with our buddies Nate and Tracy. Nate is actually, believe it or not, I have to say, it's really sad that Nate had to work on a Sunday morning.
I know, so sad.
You know, I'm not sure what this world's coming to. Ben, how are you today?
He works hard.
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm excellent, actually. Played a lot of golf this week. We're going to talk about golf today. So we're going to talk about some golf today.
Be the new intro.
Yeah, we were thinking about it, but I kind of like the Fore. I should have said two. So we're going to talk about Stonebridge Country Club. We played Stonebridge Country Club last Saturday with Nate and Tracy. And ironically, the course is probably one of the top golf courses in New Hampshire. I would say it's been rated pretty highly the last couple of years. I know that the Union Leaders Readers' Choice Award, they gave it a number one for the last couple of years. Really long golf course. Beautiful golf course set in the hills of Goffstown, New Hampshire. If you've never been there before, I highly, highly recommend that you play this golf course. The only thing it had not going for it this week is it just was really, really dry, like a lot of New Hampshire golf courses, a lot of New England golf courses. But the tee boxes were green, the greens were beautiful.
The views were
spectacular, absolutely. And, you know, it just, unfortunately, the rain didn't dampen our day, though. Ironically, when we got there, Ben, it's raining. You know what I mean? We get there and they hadn't had any rain in weeks, so we brought a little rain with us, and it rained for the first hour that we were playing, but then it got hot, hot, hot. It was a hot day on Saturday. What'd you think, Jen?
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I was upset I didn't have a jacket.
At first.
And I was wet, and
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold. It was cold in the morning.
My first time golfing in the rain.
Yeah, it was raw and cold when we got there, and then by 12 o'clock when we were making the turn to the 10th hole, it was smoking hot, and it was a beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful golf course.
It was beautiful.
Like I told you, it's highly acclaimed golf course. You can go on their website. You can see they have memberships there. They have a beautiful 19th hole that we'll talk about in a little bit. And it was the 2018-2019 rated the number one golf course in New Hampshire by Union Leader, and it is absolutely spectacular. There's some golf holes there. It's a target golf course, okay? And then we'll explain that later what target golf means, but. I wanted to give some accolades to the general manager, Jason Jazokas. He welcomed us there. We had a great time. The food was great. The atmosphere was great.
Awesome.
Everybody that worked there was spectacular. They were all friendly. They were all really excited about the fact that we were going to have this podcast today. Even the guys that were playing in front of us, the four guys that were playing in front of us, they were laughing, and we gave them our card, showed them how to get in touch with us on the podcast, and they had a great time too. I made sure to go over and ask if they had a good time. They really enjoyed the course. So let's talk about some course stats here. The ease of getting a tee time. Very, very easy to get a tee time. Go online, go online to Stonebridge Country Club, and you can get a tee time 6 days in advance. You can call in, of course. Weekday prices for 18 holes, $59. Weekend, $70 with a cart. Not bad. Average golf price, you know, and the yardage. Okay, now this golf course is a beautiful golf course. Okay, it is not like a hugely long golf course, but it's longer than any of the other golf courses we've featured so far. The whites, which are their golds, were 6,388 yards, a rating of 71, and a slope of 133. Okay, so a more difficult golf course. From the ladies, to give you guys an idea, where Janine and Tracy were playing from was 4,747 yards. The rating was 67.5, and the slope was 116. Now, I did those numbers on purpose for you today because I wanted to explain to you what slope and rating mean. Do you know what slope and rating are?
I actually don't.
Okay, well, we're going to enlighten people today. All right? Rating is how a scratch golfer would play against par. Okay, so the rating of this golf course was 71. The par is 72. So a scratch golfer, when he plays this golf course, typically should shoot a 71.
And do people know what a scratch golfer means?
Yeah, all right. You tell me what a scratch golfer
is.
Okay, a scratch.
No.
Ben, you know what a scratch golfer is? Let's see if Ben knows what a scratch golfer is.
They're typically around par. Is that
correct?
Okay.
It's someone who's basically shooting. They're like an O or 1 or 2,
I'm not a
2
scratch
handicap. No, I am not a scratch golfer. I aspire to be a scratch golfer. We should all aspire to be scratch golfers. It's just a level before you would become, a pro golfer. Okay.
Awesome.
So the slope is the formula in which you rate a scratch golfer. Now that we know what a scratch golfer is, against a bogey golfer. Now, a bogey golfer means 18. Someone who on 18 holes will shoot 18 over par. Okay, so if in this course, 72 would make it a 90, right? So the slope on this golf course is 133, which is a big formula on that. You subtract one versus the other, but it's typically the average USGA golf course across the country is 120 is a slope rating. Even though the USGA says it's 113, there's very few 113 sloped golf courses. So when you're looking at a golf card and you see that it's 133, it means that it's higher. So that means that it's harder than the average golf course. Does that make sense to you? Mm-hmm. So if 120 is the median, then 133, which this golf course is, means it's a little bit more difficult. So if you're a beginner golfer, maybe you want to stay away from a 140 or 150 sloped golf course. Like, for example, Torrey Pines, a very famous golf course down in South Carolina. The rating on Torrey Pines, the scratch golfer at Torrey Pines, the rating is 80. So that means that par is 72. The average scratch golfer would shoot 8 over par.
Have you been?
No, I have not. But again, we'll
Where
be
is
happy
it
to.
again?
It's in South Carolina.
Okay.
They've had many U.S. Opens there, and a really cool spot.
I'm ready.
Torrey Pines has, I think, 4 golf courses, maybe 6. And the slope. Okay, we have a slope of 133 for Stonebridge. The slope at Torrey Pines is 160. So the bogey golfer is going to have a miserable experience at Torrey Pines. Although you can say to somebody, play Torrey Pines. So let's get back to Stonebridge. What did you love most about Stonebridge?
I just love being out in nature and the views, and I'm just really trying to learn.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I know what I love. I had a par, my first par.
Yes, Jen's first par. We're going to talk about that when we get down to some other stuff. It was on the 16th hole. Good spot. Beautiful spot. We've got some pictures rolling through. We're going to throw those pictures onto Facebook for you too. Really majestic. It's set in the hills of Goffstown. It has a couple of amazing par 5s on the back. There's 3 par 5s on the back, as a matter of fact. The 10th hole is a par 5, and then there's 2 par 5s that are basically, you don't know that they're parallel to each other, but they are parallel to each other when you look at the course from up above. Yeah, basically when you're starting that course at Goffstown, you start out with 1, 2, 3, 4. They like kind of parallel each other, and 4 is that little par 3 that we played, and then 5 comes back, and then of course there's the 6th hole, which is their signature hole. And it's an absolutely gorgeous hole that you have to hit over water. If you're hitting on the 6th hole from the black tees, which is all the way back, it's a 182-yard shot. And I scoped it on the other day when we were there, and it was like a 187-yard shot. And I'm like, one day I'm going to come back here and I'm going to step back on the black tees and I'm going to try my luck, because it's a little postage stamp area that you can land the ball in, and that's where, unfortunately, Janine, I had my best shot of the day, and Janine had her bad lie of the day.
Hole. You wanted to take a picture of that, but you forgot.
Yeah, I did. I forgot my camera. Poor Janine was on the side of the hill. There's a bunker down below her. She had hit the ball straight over the water. She did a great job getting it over the water, but it hit into the hill, and it was just grumbly gunk over there.
I said I hate golf at that point, and you said I'm not allowed to say that.
No, she got a little aggravated, and I said, listen, you're playing a very difficult course, and as a beginner, you can't get frustrated at how you're playing on a course that's not really, where a beginner should. It's kind of like going out if you're a skier going to like, what's that
black diamond?
Like a black diamond right away. You know what I
mean?
I mean, or even the blues are right. Is it the blues? The squares there? Blue squares?
You lost me when you said skiing.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I ski. My idea of skiing is I go down once and I'm like, oh yeah, and then I sit at the bar and I'm sipping a little whiskey with my outfit on, pretending like I skied all day. So I'm like a summer skier. It's basically
the only sweat you're getting is from the fireplace.
Yeah, I do 1-2 runs tops, and that's it for me. So the 6th hole is their signature hole. There's obviously the Stonebridge is over to your left when you're coming across the water to the other side. Really, if you've never played the course before, I would suggest that if you haven't played it that you drive ahead if you are able to see some of the shots, because on the 7th hole, you really need to know where you need to land the ball. A couple of holes on the back, same way. But overall, I had a great time at this golf course. I would love to play it again.
I want to play it again when it's beautiful, when the grass is green. And
so
I love Tracy said, I know why it's called Stonebridge now.
Yeah, she turns around and she looks at the stone bridge and she's like, oh, I get it now. So yes, it was built actually not that long ago, and I believe it was 1987 it was built. Vince Molesky is the club pro over there. I talked with him on Saturday too. He's another great guy. He was very friendly with us, talking with us. The course designer is Phil Wilgan, so we'll give him a little credit for really doing a great layout. And it just was a really wonderful day, because the views make up for, like, if you're struggling and then you look up and you just see all the beginning of the Merrimack Valley. Basically, we're like at the top of the Merrimack Valley over there, and we're looking all the way down, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Tracy and Nate played pretty well too.
They did. They both played right. Tracy was smashing the ball. I want to talk about the back nine. There were 3 par 5s on the back nine, and as I said, the two of them were back to back with each other. These 3 par 5s total 1,543 yards. Okay. Wow. So one of the par 5s that we're talking about, I believe it is the one that is on the downslope. What's it? Number 14, right? It is amazing. Thin all the way down. There's a picture of it, of us sitting in the carts looking down this par gorgeous. 5, and it's like thin on both sides, and it was a great golf shot. And then the other par 5 is basically the opposite of it, going this way, right? So we're going up now 525 yards, and we were going down 515 yards this way. Then we played a couple holes, then you go back up it the other way. So it's kind of like a roller coaster ride where you're going down, and then you play a couple holes, and you go tick, 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 back up, and it takes you like 27 shots to get back up to that 525. I hit a wedge to the edge of the green. I thought it was going to stick there. By the time we got back up there, it had rolled back like about 40 yards. I'm like, okay, this is what I get for playing on an uphill golf course. It was a difficult golf course. It was a challenging golf course. It's a target golf course, like we talked about, where you have to really know where you're going to hit the ball. You can't just get up there and smash driver. If you want to smash driver, I mean, if you have that kind of control in your driver, then go right ahead. But
that's why you said you want to drive ahead with the car. Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the par 3s, the par 3s were really, there was no blind shots on any of the par 3s. They're really gorgeous. They're either, you're hitting down on it or you're hitting over something. There was always a good challenge. Even the 18th finishing hole, it has this beautiful, what would be filled with water. Unfortunately, it wasn't filled with water. It was halfway filled with water, but it's a great approach shot to you're hitting right towards the clubhouse. And, but we're going to digress from 18 back to 16, where Janine is going to tell you about her first par that she's ever gotten. Nobody helped her. Nobody was paying attention to her. And because everybody else was like, in their own game at that time, 16 holes in, and we were kind of like all ready to be done 18 holes and get that cocktail going.
Well, I get a lot of advice from Craig and Tracy and Nate, who I love you all dearly, and I will take as much advice as I can, and everyone's very patient with me. The 3 of them had already shot, and Craig said, oh, get your pitching wedge, which I call my power wedge. And I went up in my bag and I said, oh, it's not here. So I wasn't really sure where it was. And then, lo and behold, this gentleman from behind us came up in his cart. Is this yours? I said, yeah, that's my pink golf club.
Yeah, Janine plays ladies King Cobras. Beautiful set of golf clubs. Unfortunately, she just wanted to donate one to the golf cards on the 15th green. And luckily, the guy drove it up to her, because what happened after that?
So I proceeded to
grab that power wedge. Pitching wedge makes me think of baseball, because we're a baseball family too. Yep. Got on to right before the green, and then I chipped it in, and then I chipped it on. Sorry, see, I got to get chipping it in. Chipping it in would have given you a birdie, which I would have been very happy with too. So you'll do that one day too.
And they weren't paying attention to me at all. They were doing their own thing, and then I putted in and got it in, and they all turned around and said, "Did you just get a par?" And I said, "Yep." None of you saw me. None of you said a word.
Listen.
Then I was on a high for a while. It was awesome.
Were absolutely laser focused.
I was.
You got up there, you set up really nice, you popped that 7-footer right in there for par. You chipped it up really well too.
I was pretty psyched.
You did. You played really well. It like I said, it's a tough golf course for a beginner like you, who really doesn't play their ball all the way to the end that often. But you did play, and you played your ball like 3 or 4 holes all the way through this time, and you really are getting a lot better. We took a lesson this week with
that was awesome. Loved it.
Our new friend Nick Antonelli, who's actually going to be joining us on this golf program every couple of weeks. He's going to give us some tips.
He's going to
be joining us either in person or by Skype. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll talk about him in a few minutes though, because we need to finish talking about Stonebridge. What did you think once we got to the 18th hole? What did you think of that approach shot on the 18th hole? It was not an easy finishing shot.
Not at all. I was still thinking I was going to be all that after getting my par, but
well, you are all that, babe.
Oh, thank you.
That's the funniest thing. They call that an ab-foo when you when you get a birdie, right, and then you get up on the next tee, and then you absolutely just do something so horrific, and it's called an after birdie F up, right? So Janine had an after par, an ab-foo. She had an after par F up on her next tee shot. So. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Do
they serve those at the 19th?
Yes, they do. You can get them with mozzarella and a little sprinkled of like marinara sauce. They're delicious when they're in season.
I had a few of them.
When they're in season. When are they not in season?
I don't know. Actually, that's probably true, Ben. You can probably find them fresh anywhere in the world. What were we talking about in golf?
I don't know. You're too funny.
Oh, well, you know what? It brings us to the most important hole, as we all think of. Oh, go ahead. Say and then.
No, I was going to say, and then the 19th hole. And then.
Yeah, the 19th hole. It's a cool little spot. Beautiful little clubhouse.
Beautiful views
nice
on the deck.
Yep.
Except I get stung by a hornet.
Oh, jeez.
And that was not fun.
Yeah, that hornet did not want you sitting there. We actually had to change chairs because that thing just kept coming back at you.
I wasn't sure if I was allergic or not. I was a little bit nervous, but
they were great though. They brought you over a cup of ice
not
and
have anaphylactic shock, so that was good.
They were great. They had a cup of ice, and the drinks were great. Like golf
vodka helped with that.
We ran into the beer cart girl. Actually, we ran into the beer cart girl only once, but it was on the 9th hole when we were going to the 10th hole.
Yep.
And she was really friendly. I would have loved to have seen her more because my golf game really needed something by the 14th.
Tracy calls that golf loop.
Yeah, golf loop, as Tracy calls it, absolutely. The 19th hole, though, I had a great time there. The food was great. I had a grilled chicken sandwich. We did their special. The 4 of us grabbed a special. These guys got it fried. I got it with grilled.
That was delicious.
And Tracy, who's glucose free, right? She's a glucose free person. She gluten free, not glucose. Yeah, glucose. What am I talking about?
I agreed with you too. So.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Tracy.
It's all right. And Ben's like, "What are you guys talking about? What's glucose?" What is
what, you can't chew gum? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I don't know. I don't even know what glucose is or gluten. So
glucose is like a sugary
substance, right?
Yeah.
Probably not good for you either in large amounts. So where are we going with the show today?
Tracy enjoyed her.
Apfoos, glucose. We're glucose tolerant here, I think.
This show is?
No.
Oh,
sugar.
Absolutely. I think it's the glucose that brings us all together.
Oh my!
Oh my God!
We may lose viewers on that one. No, I'm kidding.
So, what do you give the overall rating, huh?
I have to tell you that if the course was in better shape, if it was green all the way through, I would have given it like a really high 90s rating. But I'm actually really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to going back there again. I'm gonna give it a 94.
He told you straight up too.
He did. He was very forthright. They were talking about it, like go easy on us, and I'm like,
They were awesome.
It's hard not to go easy on any golf course because it's such a hard lifestyle to be in. It's so you don't make millions of dollars running these golf courses in New England. They don't have that year-round mentality like in Florida or California or these other places. It's a difficult life, and especially when you're a pro golfer or you're someone who's only working there during the summer and then you got to find a job in the wintertime. It's difficult. I know that golf course, though, I believe is open year round in the pro shop and in the
Oh, it is.
For the food and stuff like that. So that helps. It's a great spot in Goffstown. I mean, if you're in the Manchester area, it's 30 minutes from here in Salem, right here.
It's an hour north of Boston.
Yep.
Good context for anyone that's happened to be watching or listening in southern New England.
Beautiful stone bridges everywhere.
Yeah,
Sorry if I interrupted you.
No.
Not at all. It's your show.
No, we appreciate your input.
Interrupt you when I want to.
I'm all about being polite.
Yeah, it's 35 minutes from here tops. And like I said, real easy to book a tee time online. It's actually one of the easier ones I've seen where they have all the different tee times listed for you, and you just click ahead. And if you go too far ahead, it says, sorry, you can't go past 6 days. And, I think they do a great job up there. I really wish them lots of rain in the next couple of weeks. And I hope that, we can get up there again.
How late
maybe in the springtime.
Courses stay open? October?
Typically, yeah. I mean, some of them say open.
So we have plenty of golf.
Some places like Wyndham Country Club, I believe, it opens as long as there's no snow on the ground. Then
Stonebridge has it listed as opening April 1st, closing November 1st.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So we have plenty of golf to play.
Yeah, we do. We've got plenty of golf to play. Oh, and by the way, we'll talk about Wyndham just to compare slopes, and we'll go back to slopes and ratings, right? Here's the slope for Wyndham from the whites, right? Men's whites, 67. Okay, so that means that a scratch golfer is going to shoot 67, 68, right? And the slope is 122. So Wyndham is an average American golf course. 122 for the slope is right there with the.
Can I ask you a question? Because
Sure.
I genuinely don't know this. Does par remain the same for the golf course no matter which tee you're shooting off, and then you just adjust from there? So I think you said this was a 72 par course?
Yep.
So is that from championship all the way down to ladies' tees?
Correct.
Is that how that works?
Yep. Typically in the golf course, but most golf courses can range from par 70 to 72.
Okay.
Yep. So like I know that when we play Merrimack Golf Course in a couple of weeks, I believe their par is 70 or 71. The par for here was 72 and for Wyndham, it's 72 as well.
You can read that?
Yep. I can when it's
I'm
like
impressed.
far enough away from my face. But no, typically it won't be a par 5 for men and then a par 4 for women.
Got
But
it.
it could be. There are courses that are like that it's a par 4 for women and a par 5 for men. But I've never seen one around here. And if anybody knows of one around here, let me know. We'd like to go check that out because that'd be pretty cool. Where it's a longer shot for the men but for the women, I thought Stonebridge was, that's a good golf course. I mean, it's 5,000 yards. You're going to get a good time. Yet really, every one of your shots was over something, or you had to really smash it out there. The par 5s, again, I got to give accolades to those par 5s because they were just so much fun to play.
Oh, yeah. And if anyone wants to golf with us, I know Ann Gubalini expressed interest, Steve Melissus, my friend Bucky, anyone, please come play with us.
Our friends are definitely getting into
I know
it.
Pete Shumsky will play again. And
yeah, we're getting into it. Next week, we're actually going to be playing at a great little golf course called Hidden Creek, and hopefully we won't find that Hidden Creek with any of our balls.
It's supposed to be beautiful.
In Litchfield, New Hampshire. And I'm going to quote of the day. I get a good quote of the day, right? We did our quote of the day last week.
Uh-huh.
So this one's from Roy Tin Cup McAvoy. One of my, Ben's already like, oh God, hold the button here, see if I say anything
Our
bad.
golf pro loves
Tin Cup, one of the, this is for you, Nick, actually. If you're going to watch this, I just want to let you know you inspired me when we talked about Tin Cup at our lesson last week.
Wonderful lesson.
Yep. Golf and sex are the two things you can enjoy, even if you're not good at them. Sorry, I blew that. Let me try it again. Golf and sex are the two things you can enjoy, even if you're not good at them. All right?
That was good.
All right,
Speaking
so let's talk about your lesson.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, speaking of golf and sex, I have a quote from Tiger Woods.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Quote that says,
Be careful.
Achievements on the golf course are not what matters. Decency and honesty are what matter.
Okay.
Isn't that ironic coming from him?
So was that before he took a 9-iron to the side of his beautiful SL515?
That was the case.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I love Tiger, and it just shows
everybody
you
has
that
their
it shows you how
issues
he's
in
not
life,
perfect.
so.
And when people think he's perfect, he's not perfect. I'm not perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Janine's perfect. I'm not perfect.
You kidding me? I thought more of Tiger after that.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the comeback, honestly, the comeback that he made.
Which one?
Yeah, that's true. Winning the Masters, though, I mean,
People wanted to watch him golf even more after that. So.
Absolutely. When he's in a tournament, I mean, the ticket.
I like watching him.
People talk about like LeBron James and Tom Brady and all these guys, and how, even like how Wayne Gretzky changed the game of hockey. Tiger really, out of all of those sports, Tiger changed golf more than any other athlete has ever influenced golf. He brought the purses. The purses went from nothing. These guys were making nothing. And now, you win over $2 million for winning the Masters. I mean, when it was $800,000 before,
wow.
You know what I mean? It was just, the purses are so huge now. There's so many millions and millions of dollars in golf, and it's all because of Tiger. And Tiger has spawned this whole generation, 2 generations now, to be honest with you, because he's in his mid 40s, right? He's spawned 2 generations of kids that wanted to be Tiger. Rory McIlroy, all these golfers. They,
awesome.
They idolized him, and they're even better than he is. And it's kind of scary to think that they're,
It's when I started watching more.
Oh God, yeah, we tune in. You tune in every week for that guy. So we are going to wrap this up in a few minutes. Wanted to talk really quick about our lesson. We're going to have Nick Antonelli on here. He's a teaching professional and a playing professional, I should say, too, at the Willow Creek Golf Academy at Atkinson Country Club, another golf course that we're going to be getting to in a couple of weeks to preview that for you. We had a great lesson with him. He gives group lessons. He does individual lessons. It's right down there at the Golf Academy. Really great, simple teacher. Listens.
He was wonderful.
And Janine's gonna progress with him. I even took a lesson just to get my refresher going, and it really helped me out a lot. I had a great round of golf the next day at Campbell, Scottish Highlands. Played a lot of golf this week. We're playing golf this afternoon with Nate and Tracy, and this Friday coming up, we're going to be playing at Hidden Creek. So if you do want to join us, I do have some tee times available for you. We're going to be playing at Merrimack Golf Course the week after that, and then Atkinson Country Club. So it's going to be a great 3 weeks of golf coming up, and I hope that you can join us. I really appreciate you watching us, listening to us. Tune into the United Podcast Network. And Ben, thank you as always.
If you want a lesson, go to Nick.
Yep.
He was great.
You're the best, Ben. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
we'll see
Ben.
you next week. Thank you so much for
Bye,
watching.
all.
Take care.
It's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you've got the stock market beat. But the man worthwhile is the man who can smile when his shorts are too tight in the seat.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.